Boba Fett. He is a darling of the Star Wars world. People want more movies, they want more cameos, more stories. He was even once called the 79th greatest movie character of any movie ever of all time by Empire magazine. That's high praise, but guess what? Boba Fett, he is incredibly overrated. Boba Fett is one of the top 5 best-selling Star Wars characters of all time, despite the fact that he is only on screen for a total of roughly 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And that's if you include shots of just things like his arms and his feet. He's only in 10 individual scenes, and that's if you count the horrendous special edition scene from the original movie, A New Hope, with the CGI Jabba the Hutt.
Look, Jabba, even I get bored sometimes. You think I had a choice?
Oh boy. Boba also only speaks 27 words of dialogue in all of the original Star Wars movies.
As you wish.
Lord Vader.
He's no good to me dead. What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
Yet despite all of that, people fucking love Boba Fett. Even with the debut of the new Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, a show that focuses on an entirely different character. One of the biggest questions the internet has after the first episode is if we see Boba Fett in the background of one shot, just standing there. I mean, standing around is kind of all that Boba Fett does in the Star Wars movies. Wait, he does walk a little bit too. He sometimes nods his head, I guess. And I think he's like a smooth talker or something. To be fair, he does aid in the capture of Han Solo. He lucks out in guessing Solo's move of pretending to be a pile of trash discarded into space. But after that, the bounty hunter really doesn't do much of anything. Except, die. Boba does, of course, appear in the prequel movie Attack of the Clones, and he's in the series Clone Wars, but he's just kind of a little kid in those. And the focus here for me is the movies anyway, because his popularization as a character happened well before George Lucas put the pen back to the paper in the 1990s. Boba Fett's first appearance as a character is usually said to have been in the Star Wars Holiday Special, the very infamous Holiday Special, back in 1978, but it was actually at a fucking parade, of all places, in Marin County, California, where the bounty hunter was seen for the first time. My guy, this big-time feared bounty hunter needed a police escort to walk in a parade alongside clowns and Boy Scouts. This now leads us to that infamous holiday special where Boba Fett did make his first on-screen appearance in a cartoon halfway through the show. He originally saves the heroes Luke, Chewie, R2, 3PO, and a very weird-looking Han Solo. But then it is revealed he's working alongside Darth Vader. He's a bad guy. And I'll give credit where it's due because Boba was probably the only redeeming thing from the entire special.
Just one more dance, friend. Just one more chance, friend.
The next step in Boba Fett's very overrated lifespan is probably the most important one. You know what it is? This.
And now Boba Fett, Star Wars villain with his laser rifle. Boba Fett is not yet available in stores, but you can get him free with 4 proofs of purchase from any Star Wars action figures. Details on specially marked packs at participating stores. Offer ends May 31st. Star Wars action figures sold separately from Kenner.
The Boba Fett action figure from Kenner is credited with being the biggest reason the character became so popular. He was mysterious, faceless, and could be anything kids wanted him to be as long as they used their imagination. Now, when kids sent away for this Boba Fett action figure, this rocket-firing one, which was teased ahead of The Empire Strikes Back, they thought it would come with the ability for it to actually fire a rocket out of the back of the toy. Instead, well, it was a safety concern, and Kenner nixed the plans, and the rocket was glued into the jetpack and couldn't do anything. The legend of the rocket-firing Boba Fett action figure is pretty fascinating, as there are only about 25 that actually exist in the world, and one recently went up for auction, and estimations said it could be sold for as much as $500,000. I won't lie, I had my own Boba Fett action figure when I was a kid growing up, and I loved the character so much. Look, I'm also a sucker. I mean, I have the action figures for head chef and diner owner Dexter Jester and his robot waitress from Attack of the Clones.
Do you want a cup of Jamba Juice?
Oh, yes, thank you.
But regardless, I understand the cult following and how that all happened for Boba Fett because I bought in. I'm just saying, I simply do not think Boba Fett deserves the praise and the love that he receives. Darth Maul is another character I find a bit overrated and overhyped, but at least he's a badass in the few moments he gets in The Phantom Menace. Maul was another character fueled by merchandising hype way before the movie was released. I mean, just look at that clip. This guy is dressed up and knows full Darth Maul lightsaber moves before the movie even released. Star Wars fandom is just pure insanity. Even if you want to go beyond the movies, Maul's TV series appearances are better and more intriguing than the kid version Boba Fett we got on the small screen. It's often said that this line,
"No disintegrations,"
As you wish.
is a big reason why people were drawn into Boba Fett. It's even been said that it gave him street cred. But why? He was holding a blaster. Of course Vader's gonna say don't blow his ass up. He's holding a gun. He could have said that to any of those bounty hunters. Also, I gotta mention Boba Fett's cargo pants. The rest of his armor and the suit is cool, and the helmet does rule, I'll say that. But, I mean, you can't be throwing around street cred to anyone with those baggy-ass cargo pants. And of course, for being the most feared bounty hunter in the world, his combat skills in Return of the Jedi fucking stunk out loud. Here's his entrance into battle in Return of the Jedi. Ready for this? He has his gun drawn on Luke for 0.41 seconds. I know Luke is a Jedi, but good lord, Boba, put up a fucking fight, man. His shots at Luke from his arm gun don't even come close to hitting him either, and then, of course, it all ends in the most pathetic way possible. Let's not forget who defeats him too. Han literally had said this in the beginning of the scene.
I think my eyes are getting better. Instead of a big dark blur, I see a big light blur.
He couldn't see, and on top of that, he had his back turned to him. Oh my goodness. I know he's done stuff in books and other stories, and he's crawled out of the Sarlacc pit, but most feared bounty hunter, my ass. Like I said, I see the appeal of Boba Fett, and he does have meaning to me as a huge Star Wars fan. I'll admit that. But let's be real, the reputation is very undeserved. Calling Bill Burr's upcoming character The Mandalorian awesome is already more deserved than saying that for Boba, and we've only seen his character in trailers. Boba Fett, cool character? Sure, I'll say he's cool. Great character? Not at all. Boba Fett.
You're an overrated piece of shit.
Thanks for watching. Let us know below if you think Boba Fett's overrated, or if he's properly rated. And of course, if you cannot get enough Star Wars or The Mandalorian, click right here. You can watch our first reaction and recap video for The Mandalorian. We try to break it all down, talk about Easter eggs. We're gonna do it again for the second episode, and so on and so forth. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, the like button would be a big help. Thanks again for watching. Enjoy the movies.